Last time we saw Bai chickening out of the fight, but the fear of losing his big booby friend Faye drives him back into the fight to save her. Using his stylish cauldron move, he defeats Chen Yu like a boss. Now they're all trying to make a run for it from the jungle to the spirit sector, but the villains are like, "Not so fast." Faye, in a moment of desperation, decides to self-destruct herself, but Bai wants to f her and doesn't want to harm her. So, he takes one for the team and attracts all the goons towards him. All the goons try to gangbang Bai, but he's not a bitch, like my girlfriend. He beats the stuffing out of all those goons. But just when things are looking up, Heng shows up with his big snake thing to f Bai up. He starts squishing Bai like a stress ball, but Bai is not one to roll over and play dead. But Heng points out how Bai doesn't have a choice in the matter and attacks him. Meanwhile, back at the friend-fleeing marathon, Faye's pleading with the universe for Bai to keep on keeping on. Back to the Bai vs Heng showdown. Bai's literally inside Heng's creepy snake thing, thinking, is this how it ends? Suddenly, Bai has a light bulb moment, remembering his mom on her deathbed, telling him to never give up. With newfound determination, Bai hulks out of the snake's grip and goes full superhero on Heng. He unleashes a crazy attack on Heng, who's sweating buckets now. Heng is amazed by Bai's spiritual mojo and feels like it wants to suck the life out of everything. But he doesn't know that Bai only wants to suck Faye's big juicy. Heng's impressed that Bai's leveled up to 6, but he's not ready to admit defeat. He is ready to dance with the tough Bai. They begin their rumble, but Heng's too slick. He breaks Bai's blade and gives him a bionic arm twist for good measure. We then see Bai's buddies running for their lives, but Hu Yan's like, "Guys, I'm donezo." He points out this big old monument and tells Faye it's where she can send an SOS to the sector. Hu Yan's all dramatic, making Faye swear she'll survive, and off she goes, leaving him in the dust. Meanwhile, in the SmackDown arena, Heng is shocked as he watches Bai's arm magically heal itself. He considers how Bai would be a formidable foe if he were at level 8 ki condensation. Poor Bai is still hurting, muttering to himself, "Okay, arms, don't fail me now." But our hero's got a mission, save the day and his pals. So, he whips out his trusty cauldron of doom and hurls it towards Heng. But to his surprise, Heng is still standing. Bai is indeed an opponent worthy of respect. Heng starts getting naked and prepare his super duper secret move. It's so deadly, no one's lived to tell the tale. Heng's got this big fancy sword and does this crazy transformation thing. And Bai is amazed by the power of a level 9 ki condensation cultivator. With a swoosh and a swing, Heng's about to slice Bai, but Bai uses his magic walk to try and block it. Heng's not impressed and goes full power, breaking through Bai's defense like a champ. The force is so intense that poor Faye gets launched off a cliff, dropping her transmitter. Bai is struggling to even lift a finger, but Heng is about to finish the job. This lights a fire under Bai's ugly butt, and he decides to take Heng down with him. They go tumbling off the cliff, leaving Faye crawling to that monument, wishing Bai would hold on for dear life. Heng's lost his chill completely, raining down punches on Bai like he's playing whack-a-mole, while Faye inches her way closer to the monument. In a brief moment between punches, Bai remarks that Heng's hits are softer than a baby's bottom and calls him a trash bag. Heng realizes Bai won't throw in the towel, so he threatens revenge in the afterlife before delivering what he thinks is his knockout blow. To his astonishment, Bai grabs onto Heng's arm for dear life, like a kid clutching onto a favorite toy. Meanwhile, Faye finally reaches the monument and sends her message back to the spirit sector. Back to the brawl, Heng tries to wiggle free, but Bai holds on tight, declaring that if he's going down, he's taking Heng with him on this wild ride. With a final, desperate move, Bai pulls the sword deeper into himself, yanking Heng closer, and then delivers a knockout punch right through Heng's neck, sending him to the land of no necks. As dawn breaks, Bai proudly celebrates his victory, then promptly collapses, because let's face it, he's earned a nap. Cut to the spirit sector, where Faye's message is playing on repeat. Her message explained that Feng is out, Hu Yan is wrecked, and Bai, well, he's off fighting a level 9 giant, so, fingers crossed? The law enforcement elder Ouyang-ji gets the scoop on the Lucian clan's betrayal and Bai's epic showdown with Master Heng. But the big question remains, did Bai survive? Nobody knows. Ouyang-ji orders the village bell to be rung like it's a fire drill. He calls for all disciples to drop everything, stop the kung fu fighting, halt the yoga sessions, and cease the tea ceremonies, to gather at the village center. There, he spills the tea the Lucian clan has been naughty, colluding with the blood sector and making mortals their afternoon snacks. Additionally, a brave soul among them, Bai, engaged in an epic showdown all by himself to rescue his buddies. And currently, we have no clue where he's off to. Now, it's time for them to get their act together. Oeng-ji rallies the troops, telling them to gear up for the ultimate showdown to obliterate the traitors and save their comrades. The crowd gets hyped up, chanting their battle cry, and they all gear up for the epic battle ahead. So, the sector boss activates the transport array and shouts to his troops a simple but firm order. No victory, no return. Meanwhile, up on the mountain, the Lucian clan boss is scratching his head, wondering why Heng hasn't come back yet, convinced he must still be spanking some butts. But then, their whole ritual to start some fancy spirit array gets rudely interrupted when their cave decides to collapse. Talk about a cave-in. Outside, the boss's eyes bug out as he sees a swarm of flying warships zooming in, and it hits him like a sack of bricks that their secret hideout has been busted wide open. The spirit sector army comes in like a storm of furious ghosts, and the Lucian leader tries to look tough, but he's toast. The entire Lucian clan gets squashed flatter than a pancake by the unstoppable might of the spirit sector army. Chief Li gets the news that Bai and Fei are still playing hide and seek, and he explains that they are now the top priority. Meanwhile, near the monument, Fei is discovered by two mysterious robe-wearing folks who give her a patch-up job and bring her back to the land of the living. She's hobbling like a granny on roller skates, but those two are persistent. But Fei's off to rescue her hero, Bai, who probably needs a hero himself by now. In the forest, Spirit Sector members stumble upon the aftermath of Bai's epic battle. There are broken bodies everywhere. Li, the sector dude with the sharp eye for fashion, spots Bai's shredded clothes in a puddle of blood. He's having a flashback to time when he told Huyan to give Bai those clothes. He says, sure, Bai's a troublemaker, but he does have talent. This kid might just become a legendary cultivator one day. They also spot a deep gash from a 9th level key condensation cultivator, a move so spicy it could melt steel beams. Li is told that it would be impossible for Bai to survive, and Li regrets getting there too late. Just then, Fei rolls up and hits them with some optimism. Hey, if we ain't found a body, Bai's still out there somewhere. But her hope fizzles when they show her Bai's bloody threads, and she's all, nah, my man's alive, I'm telling ya. In a panic, Fei starts calling out for Bai, hoping he'll answer like a lost puppy. Li simply instructs telling the squad to keep searching. Back at the spirit sector, the sector leader of the spirit stream sector, named Yuan, is told that a search for traces of life was conducted, but in this world, there is not the slightest sign of life from Bai. Yuan highlights the rarity of stumbling upon someone as loyal, righteous, powerful, fearless, and ugly as Bai. Bai's timely sacrifice saved the day, preventing a Lucian clan victory that could have been worse. They decide to throw him a massive Bai Appreciation Day later on. So, they hold this big memorial. Tears flow freely. Even the ugly lonely loser Bao is also crying. But Zhang from the fire kitchen, ever practical, reminds everyone not to cry too much because they're just sending Bai on his last journey. So, they start this big old speech about Bai, talking about how he was basically the poster child for good deeds. He was like Santa Claus and Superman rolled into one. He used his life to do good, kick evil's butt, and then, boom, sacrificed himself to save the whole spirit sector. What a guy. He's even declared an honored disciple, a title so prestigious only 10 people have gotten it in, like forever. As a final tribute, a big old bell is rung, signaling to the universe that Bai was one heck of a spirit warrior. Everyone's bowing their heads like they're in a yoga class mourning his heroic demise. Meanwhile, Li is left pondering life's big questions. What if he had never brought Bai to the spirit realm? What if he had given Bai a better pep talk? What if he had paid more attention to Bai? On the ceremony, Bai's crew gets a promotion to the inner sector, but Fei asks that her promotion be withdrawn. The elder is shocked, since rejecting a promotion in the spirit sector is like saying you don't want free ice cream on a hot day. The crowd is equal parts impressed, and sure she's gone a tad nuts. Huyen is puzzled by Fei's refusal of the reward, and Fei shocks everyone with her request to be stationed at Dongling City. Yuan wonder if she is drunk or what. An elder also says that the city lies on the border of the dangerous Lucian territory, a desolate and perilous place no one dares to venture to. Fei insists that she believes Bai is still alive and wants to wait for him there. Yuan grants her request, leaving Fei lingering at the ceremony much longer than others. She wonders if Bai would approve of her going to such a hazardous place, but feeling indebted since Bai risked everything to save her, she decides to go. Realizing she may not repay him in this lifetime, she vows to wait for Bai's return, no matter how long it takes. Meanwhile, Bai is riding his sword and everyone is praising him, but suddenly a bug poops on his face and he loses his balance. and finds himself waking up fully healed, surprised and questioning if he's in the underworld. He reflects on his lifelong evasion of death just as he's seen a man appears, revealing himself as the tomb guardian. Bai pleads for mercy, thinking he's just a passing ghost, but he's relieved to hear he's still alive. But he is still concerned for his friend's safety. He tries to find them but encounters a barrier. The guardian explains it's an ancient barrier, and despite Bai's training with the undying power, he can't pass through. To Bai's surprise, the man is aware of his training, explaining that without the undying power, Bai would have become a lost wandering ghost. The undying power absorbed surrounding life forces and healed Bai completely on its own. The man then presents Bai with a pill to restore his spiritual strength, promising to return in precisely 15 days. Later, Bai finds it odd that the man wants to help him recover but won't allow him to leave the cave. This leads him to wonder if the man's ultimate plan is to fatten him up for a meal. However, Bai shakes off the thought and focuses on his mission to find his friends, deciding to enhance the pill he was given. With determination, he sets out to train, aiming to achieve bronze skin level. The training becomes even more brutal as Bai must constantly remind himself to endure the excruciating pain. After refining the pill, Bai finally achieves bronze skin, only to be greeted by even more intense agony. Emerging from the cave, he realizes he has leveled up again, now achieving silver skin. The man is waiting and is astounded by Bai's consecutive breakthroughs in such a short time. Bai sheepishly apologizes for his earlier suspicion, now understanding that the man was simply helping him advance in the undying power training method. The man explains that mastering the undying power is no walk in the park. It's tough and challenging. He cryptically mentions that those who unravel the mysteries of life and the eternal can break the shackles and seals. With that, the man vanishes, leaving Bai with the missing second volume of the undying power. In his parting words, the man reveals that the Lucian clan has been wiped out, and Bai's friends are no longer on the mountain. Meanwhile, in Dongling City, Faye gets word that her overseer is pretty peeved that she hasn't shown up to give her mission report in over 6 months. The messenger is sweating bullets, worried sick about Faye's physical endurance, and dreading the overseer's impending wrath. But Faye's all cool as a cucumber. She brushes off the concern, saying she'll take any punishment as long as she can wait for Bai. Later on, while patrolling the city, Faye witnesses a poor beggar getting the cold shoulder when he tries to snag a bite to eat. He's almost bulldozed by Faye's ride and the driver calls him a stinky, ugly, lonely loser of a beggar. The ugly, lonely loser word reminds Faye of Bai. So, Faye swoops in like a superhero and commands to feed the beggar. When the beggar thanks her, Faye is stunned by his voice. She searches frantically for him, but he's disappeared. Feeling bad for not recognizing him sooner, Faye vows she'll never forget that voice, even if it's the last thing she hears. Other jerks around continue to insult the beggar, so Faye points a finger and yells out his name. The beggar turns around and it's none other but our ugly, lonely loser Bai. Faye can't hold back the tears of relief. Later that night, Bai gets some fresh duds and a hearty meal, welcomed back warmly by Faye. She asks why he ghosted everyone for 6 months, explaining they were all worried sick. Bai admits he lost his transmitter but confesses he was worried about her too. He didn't sleep a wink on the way back, which probably explains why people mistook him for a beggar. Curious about why she's hanging out in this tiny city, Faye cheeks glow red and she musters the courage to spill the beans. She's been waiting for him. She admits her dad is the only other person she's close to, but Bai's sincerity and kindness are unmatched by anyone she's ever met. Bai's the knight in shining armor, reassuring her he'll be there whenever she needs him. He promises to solve all her problems and show up anywhere for her, so she never has to feel lonely again. She starts bawling, and Bai reassures her he won't spill her secrets to anyone. Relieved that Bai's back in one piece, Faye's ready to peace out without a care in the world. But wait, she doesn't want to be left hanging as Bai starts dozing off. Just when things seem all cozy, and she apologizes, revealing her entire existence in this world is a fake, and the only real thing about her is standing right in front of him. And then they kiss, and after that, the next morning, Bai wakes up thinking the smooch she planted on him was maybe just a dream, but Faye's nowhere to be found, so Bai assumes she must have hightailed it back to the sector. Meanwhile, back at the sector, Bai is treated like a rock star. They're throwing a big event in his honor, commemorating his heroic demise. They swear they'll never forget Bai, unveiling a statue in his honor. The mouth of the status is wide open as Bai is about to suck a D, but the statue is uglier than Bai and everyone laughs at him. And May also comes to see the statue. And then, a flying ship crashes into the statue, decapitating it. And it turns out it was Bai flying the ship. Everyone's jaws hit the floor. They think he is a ghost. And that's it for this video. The previous part and next part link are in the pinned comments and in description. Also don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.